There he is. We're ready for you whenever you want to start.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. My name is Ali Al-Ahmed. I'm calling you from Washington, D.C. I wanted to salute all of you human rights heroes from around the world representing your people. You are really true heroes because you take a lot of risk to come and speak on behalf of your people. I also wanted to thank all of those who helped me be here on Skype. I was very sorry I couldn't make it. It's beyond my control. I was hoping to be with you. I especially wanted to thank UN Watch and other organizers who have invited me to speak. I am here to speak about the crimes of the Saudi monarchy, not only against my family and myself, but also against our people. The Saudi monarchy has really truly earned the title of the monarchy of darkness over its treatment of our people, especially women, Shia Arabs, and black people. Last week, the Saudi monarchy's death squads murdered 2 protest organizers, including a photographer who was documenting their crime. He was shot 11 times while was holding his camera, and his body was dragged by these death squads. These death squads were using German weapons and South African armored vehicles, the same armored vehicles the apartheid regime used against blacks, and then they were sold to the Saudi monarchy. These 2 victims last week are part of more than 24 victims of these death squads, including children, such as Abdullah Al-Lawjami, who was in high school when he was murdered last year while walking to his house. The Saudi monarchy treats women as subhuman, as part of a man, subject to every time during their lifetime, since birth till death, women are subject to the control of a man, a male guardian or a male master, according to Saudi laws. A man decides for every woman in his flock, in his harem, where to study, when to study, what to study, where to work, if they can work, where to travel, if they can travel, if he allows them. Even healthcare is restricted by the male master. Just today, a woman, a college student, gave birth in women's college and was not allowed to be taken to the hospital in the ambulance because her male master was not there to go in the ambulance with her. So she had to wait for her male master to take her from the university to the hospital with her newborn baby. 2 weeks ago, a similar incident happened in another university where the young woman died because the university administration refused to let her out in the ambulance without the presence of her male guardian, and she died 5 minutes away from the hospital. Our democratic and reform leaders have been jailed by the Saudi monarchy. They include Dr. Mohammed Al-Qahtani, Dr. Abdullah Al-Ahmed, Sheikh Suleiman Al-Rashudi, Sheikh Namr Al-Namr, and many other leaders and activists, poets like my friend Adil Al-Lubad, poets like Habib Al-Ma'atiq, and many activists who have been jailed for over writing a letter or tweeting or having a Facebook account. Some have been sentenced to 15 years or 20 years for merely protesting in the streets. Other activists are facing death penalty. There are currently about 12 cases of where the government of Saudi Arabia, the Saudi monarchy, is planning to execute 12 people for their role in protest. They include Sheikh Namr al-Namr, include my young brother Kamil and Raif Badawi, who set up a website for liberal ideas, and now he's been charged for apostasy. People like Abdullah Sraih and Muhammad al-Zanati and Hassan Rabi and many others who are young people fighting for freedom and democracy peacefully. Yet the Saudi monarchy answers with death. When it comes to me and my family, like your presenter spoke, that I was one of the youngest political prisoner in my country when I was 14 years old. At the time, the whole members of my family were arrested. 2 years before that, 2 of my cousins were killed by the Saudi National Guards and Saudi Army for protesting. Currently, I have one brother who spent 17 years in jail and facing death penalty trial. My young nephew also has been in jail for the past 2 years and has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for basically passing by a protest. These arrests and jailing were done based on suspicion only. The Saudi monarchy also discriminates against black people. This is a message to the African countries, to Europe, that Saudi monarchy views black people as slaves, are not worthy of positions of leadership. That's why, if any diplomats are present in the audience, have you ever seen a black diplomat from Saudi Arabia? Black official? There is not a single black mayor, black official from Saudi Arabia, because the Saudi monarchy believes that the black people are subhuman. The Saudi monarchy bans women from physical education, from exercising, causing the death of thousands of women every year. Thousands of women every year die in Saudi Arabia as a result of banning sport and physical education. That's why we have launched the campaign called No Women, No Play to expel the Saudi monarch from the Olympic movement. Unfortunately, the Olympic Committee in Lausanne refused to acknowledge the death toll and thousands of women who have died as a direct result of ban of sport in Saudi Arabia by the Saudi monarchy. The Saudi monarchy segregates women. Women live in segregation. They live in a gender apartheid regime. That's why we ask all of you to spread the word and support our people. Our people will prevail in spite of the bigotry by certain international organizations and certain governments, both democratic and dictatorships, who have ignored the plight of the people in our country, enduring the torture and mistreatment by the Saudi monarchy. I want to end by telling you about the case of 4 sisters, the daughters of King Abdullah. Their name is Jawahar, Sahar, Naha, and Hala, who have been held against their will since September 2001 by their father, King Abdullah. They have not been allowed to leave the place. They are under armed guard 24 hours a day for one thing, because their mother, Miss Al-Anud Al-Faiz, left King Abdullah and moved to London and refused to come back to Saudi Arabia. So he held her 4 daughters, his own daughters, for almost 14 years now. If a king is willing to torture his own daughter, prevent marriage from leaving the palace wall for 14 years, what do you think he would do to his own people, to the men and women of my country? That's why we must condemn the Saudi monarchy. One of the daughters of King Abdullah gave the monarchy a title. She called it the monarchy of darkness. The Saudi monarchy is the monarchy of darkness that all the people of the world, both especially democratic countries, democratic people, should condemn this monarchy, a monarchy that does not belong our world. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to see you next month during the convention. Thank you so much.
Thank you.